We can take a look at them from different angles, and now here another video for you. So I try to go to those areas which were accessible for you. So then we come here to this piano nobile, which is the great staircase, and the upper floor to which it leads are largely Evans' creations. Here it comes to Evans' creations. Evans thought that it had a function rather like the first floor of Italian palazzi of the Renaissance, which called the piano nobile. In this instance, he considered that the important reception rooms of the palace would lie on the upper floor. Evans also thought that there existed a shrine, the tri-columnar shrine, and its treasury. The basis for his restoration lies in the column and pillar bases and the ritual stone bases found collapsed onto the ground floor, like the alabaster one in the shape of a lioness hat. The rectangular building next to the stairs was built a long time after the destruction of the palace. Evans interpreted it as a Greek temple based on the defiance of the historic period. So then we come to West magazines. Looking down, you can see the start of the corridor that joins 18 long and narrow storerooms. So these are original ones, covering an area of 1,300 square meters. In the floor of both the storerooms and the corridor, there are 93 rectangular cysts, the so-called casellas. From the finds, it appears they were used for keeping safe precious equipment and vases. There are also even larger cysts in the corridor, internally lined perhaps to hold liquids. The pitois, large storage jars. Here, pitois, we saw some of them outside. The West magazine bearers bear witness to the wealth of the palace. The remains of the same 150 pitois were found, although there is room for about 400. The contents are unknown, although they could have been oil, wine, pulses, etc. At different points of the magazines, clay tablets came to light in the linear B script, which records of an economic character. At the north end of the corridor, a large number of older clay seal impressions and clay tablets in the Cretan hieroglyphic script were discovered. Remember, we said the earliest one was Cretan hieroglyphic script, then linear A, and then linear B. So let me show it to you. These are these ones. Look, amazing, really amazing. Really nice. Mhm. And also this one. Then we move on here. So you can take a look at different areas of the palace. As I mentioned it before, I tried to go through different corners for you so you can have a good idea of Knossos Palace and make an extensive video so you can take a look at it from different angles. So let us now continue this area of the palace. As you can see, very beautiful, and it's located in a very fertile area. Get lots of trees, streams close. So let us move on. So we go now inside. This is this upper floor, which I mentioned it before, right? Which is also controversial, as I said it to you. These are copies, as you can see it here. Please take a look at that. Here it says it itself, copies of Minoan frescoes, right? Interpretations of Evans. He built that on top of the original one. Yeah? This is this bull and leaping on top of it. The original ones we can see that in the Heraklion Archaeological Museum. You can see it in that video. Sorry. So different frescoes and so. These they're not all leaping. He's holding the horns, you see that? So I just took pictures of different ones for you. Then I will show. Let's go out and see the original parts of palace. Really beautiful. Very nice place. So the stairs on the right lead from the central court to the upper floor of the west wing. This is largely reconstructed by Evans. The area left of the stairs has been identified as a shrine, called by Evans as the tripartite shrine. Its facade had columns that was divided into three parts. The central element being the highest. There is a depiction of a comparable shrine on a wall painting now on display in Heraklion Museum. Inside the shrine were found clay tablets in the linear B script and clay seal impressions, which were possibly connected with the archive of a shrine. The remaining areas behind the tripartite shrine are considered to have been connected with the sanctuaries of the palace. At the back, two small dark rooms with pillars are known as the pillar crypts. The depressions in their floor are said to indicate that these rooms were used for libations. In another room, two large rectangular stone-built repositories were found sunk into the floor. They were full of clay vases and valuable objects, amongst which were the statues representing the snake goddess. The repositories have been interpreted as the temple repositories. So, look at this. If you were there, I showed you the frescoes there down there, right? Let me just show you a video. So we have a large part of the east wing and grand staircase cannot be seen from the central court as it is built into the side of the hill on top of which lies the rest of the palace. It is one of the most interesting parts of the palace because two stories are preserved below the level of the central court. At present time today, a large part of it has been reconstructed in concrete, unfortunately. The stories are connected with one another by means of a system of stairs known as the Grand Staircase. The staircase was found during the excavation in its original position. There is a total of 4 flights of stairs, 2 for each story. The 2 lower flights are preserved as they were found. The steps were broad and deep with a gentle incline that makes for an easy ascent. The staircase is lit by a large light well and was surrounded by a colonnade of wooden columns. A series of corridors, spacious halls, and small rooms is connected to the grand staircase. Evans, who believed that the palace was the seat of the king of Knossos, hypothesized that the residential quarters of the royal family lay in this part of the site, but it was only, as I mentioned it before, based on his conjecture. So let us just show you another video. And look at this. This is in the distance, you can see the landscape. And again here, outside. Again, Temple of Knossos. Beautiful. And you can take a look at it here. And here we continue to have another glance at it. So we go to North Lustral Basin. The room here resembles a cistern. Its floor is lower than the surrounding area and is reached by steps. The Lustral Basin was surrounded by columns and was lined with slabs of gypsum, giving it a luxurious appearance. In its present form, the area has been completely reconstructed by Evans. Areas with a similar arrangement have been found in other parts of the Palace of Knossos, as well as in other palaces and in important Minoan buildings of the period, 1700 to 1450. It is not known how these places were used. However, from the construction, it seems that they would have not been filled with water, nor was there any drainage. Evans thought that they were used in purification ceremonies and therefore called these places lustral basins. Evans also believed that the palace was a sacred place. That's why, in his opinion, the lustral basin in question was used to purify visitors going into the palace via the neighboring north entrance. So, it's a pity that he reconstructed that, actually. But back then, British archaeologists went worldwide and did all this stuff. Thankfully, today it's all stopped. Local archaeologists are much more careful. Today, people are much more careful anyhow. Then we come here. To the other side. You see it here. Really nice. Then we go to the theatrical area here in top. Royal Road, the area here is called the Theatre by Evans because its shape reminded him of later theatres. It is a platform and rows of steps that form an angle. At the bottom of the steps is the end of a narrow raised road that divides a paved court. Evans believed that the court was used for ceremonies watched by the standing viewers. The raised paved road continues in the opposite direction. It passes underneath the modern road to Heraklion, connecting the palace with the Minoan town, which extended to the west and north. Evans named the road the Royal Road. Along the length of the road are town houses with workshops on the ground floor and residential areas on the upper floor. So let's take a look at it. So then it is, I guess, the last video, walking out of the Knossos Palace. It was a really very nice visit. There is a souvenir shop where you can buy reproductions of items which were found in the Knossos Palace. Right, like here you can see that there. Thank you very much for visiting my channel and also for watching this video. I wish you a nice day. Please subscribe to our channel. Leave comments, ask, or your activity counts a lot. And also like the videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.